And welcome, everybody. I think I just refreshed shit when I shouldn't have. But we're good. We're here. We're live, I think. Are we live? Yes, we're live. Look at that. All the hosts coming in. Grim, Mina, and Vancouver. Good to see you, VBN. Good to see you again. I was hanging out with Vancouver by Night today and their things and stuff. Always cool to hang out with those guys, so make sure you go check them out. Nuddy, can we get a shout out for Vancouver by Night, please? So definitely make sure you go hang out with those guys when you can. They do a range of things. They're doing obviously their Vancouver by Night V-Team story. I was hanging out with them today doing a hunter version of it, so from the hunter side of things rather than the vampire side. So that seems rather interesting to hang out. So if you get a chance to hang out and watch them do that, definitely do that. Of course, they do some Phandalin by Night as well, some D&D also. As far as us here on this channel, as again, just any newbies in the channel, my name is Evldoa. I am based in New Zealand, as is our storyteller. The rest of our players generally hail from the Aussie Australia, from across the sea. It's a lot of Kiwis and Aussies. We get a few other people hanging out as well.
Tassie.
Tassie's not really part of Australia, but I mean, Tassie's all a nation all its own, isn't it, Grim?
It's something, that's for sure.
But yeah, so obviously here we do some D&D, we do some Vampire the Masquerade, and we do some map making in that as well. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday is map making and monster creation, world building, all that sort of stuff. Wednesdays and Sundays are our TTRPG evenings. As I said, tonight is Vampire the Masquerade. We are coming to the end of this story, however, it is getting close to wrapping up. So we may see the end tonight, maybe next week, who knows. But we will be getting back into my homebrew campaign, Paradigm 2 Shadow's Embrace, after the conclusion of the story, which I'm looking forward to. And you'll see all these guys on screen in that particular session, plus a couple other faces you'll recognize later on as well.
Actually, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it next week because I'm scared.
Zane's always scared, so it's all good. And with that, we will turn over to our storyteller. We will recap last week's session, and we will continue our Vampire Chronicle, Season 3 of Vampires of Melbourne, Blood and Belief.
Yes, welcome back everybody. Episode 8, I believe.
Indeed.
We began a new night last week. It was a Wednesday night, I believe, with the team awakening, tending to wounds, tending to hunger. Pip and Jax deciding to watch a video that was left in Jeremy's house with, I guess it showed Jeremy, who we now know as Marco, diablerizing Kindred. A second set of footage showed Jeremy revealing that he was Marco and he was torturing Leslie Taylor. But eventually it came to pass that even though Leslie was alive, he is now re-dead. Dead as well.
Like fully
with
dead.
Marco. Yeah. Final death is what we call it. With Marco eventually diablerizing him on camera. Meanwhile, Zane was moved. Well, not moved in the sense of, his heart, but he moved across the road and got himself some blood bags. He used his phone to contact one Jonathan Phillips. And after using this phone, he set some trace alarms off, prompting him to quickly get rid of it. He then moved himself to 3 different tech areas, to 3 different data centers, and utilized them to cover his traces. With Pip now, and back with Jax, Pip now upset from the video, having walked away to be alone, Jax read through newspaper reports and diaries, finding out that William Haynes, who was killed by Leslie, had a son called Warren Haynes, who discovered that Leslie was kindred and ended up in the world of darkness himself. One Warren Haynes is now one Marco. And it seems that this business is all about Warren's revenge for his father's death. Pip sends some texts trying to find his place among all of this. He also receives a message from a roach ensuring him that his friend is safe. Across town, Zane has braved the weather to get to all his destinations. He then moves to a building called Quest at Docklands Apartments, and he sets up a new safe space for himself. While all this was going on, the SI attacks, or the attacks on SI buildings, have taken place. The teams radio back and forth with no real issue getting in, but they do note that the activity here was less than what they had assumed. After 3 floors of clean sweeps in every building, they are able to free one Justicar Wade, who, from the radio sounds, causes a bloody mess of her own upon her escape and exit. And lastly, we find Jax and Pip heading to Elysium in a vehicle. After some calls to inform the council and warn the prince of impending danger, during the trip, our friend Pip forces a bit of a premonition to look upon his sire, working with the Sabbat, and seeing many Sabbat feeding and sharing blood with one another. With Jax pulled over while Pip goes through this traumatic experience, a police officer knocks on the car window wanting to meet with him in a secluded place. The officer reveals that he is Marco, wishing to chat, but Jax quickly and suddenly fires his incendiary gun at Marco and drives off in a hurry. So it is right here, right now, in exactly the space where we find ourselves back in Melbourne on that same rainy, ice-cold, coming out of winter night. Jax's window wipers sweep the view clear in front as you've just driven off to where, Jax?
Jax will be just driving away quickly, like at speed, probably drifting around corners to get away from Marco at this point, in an attempt for him not to be able to follow.
Okay, so give me that dexterity drive,
he
man.
will definitely not be going directly to Elysium at this point, but that is the final destination. I'm at
Straight into
hunger
rolling dikes.
2, aren't I?
You are hunger 2 according to my list.
Yes, I is. Hunger 2. One, 2, 3.
3. That's good enough. In the wet, in the icy weather, you managed to keep the car on the road. The gun that you've blasted is still hot as you've laid it back to wherever it is.
I'll probably dropped it on the passenger seat, to be fair. So I would have pulled it out, fired out the window, and then thrown it on the passenger seat.
So you can smell.
Both hands on the steering wheel.
I don't know if vampires smell, but we're going to say you can smell. No, you would be able to smell.
We can smell.
You can smell the vinyl or leather of the chair slowly burning as the muzzle flashed quite a lot when you fired as many rounds as you could at his face.
Oh, yeah, it would be. I mag dumped. Would have been 12 rounds, so it'd be hot.
It's definitely hot.
Fuck. Pip, you good? As I throw it around the corner again.
Yeah, yes, Mr. Spencer. Is he dead? There's a lot of... He's not dead, is he?
Don't think so. He's quick. Throw it around another corner, heading in another direction.
You would know, Jax, with his abilities, which you've seen before. You probably got one good round in his face before he moved. After that, you don't know how many hit him.
Yeah, I saw he moved, so I know full well he would have just not been in the path of the second and third round, whatever. It would have been a straight mag dump in that general direction, so it would have been loud.
And fire, so he would have definitely been rolling.
So again, just throwing the car around corners to do a full loop, almost like a double block loop back, heading back to Elysium, making sure that we weren't being followed.
Sweet. So give me, as you guys are driving around, both give me, I've got to say a perception check other than D&D mode. Give me an intelligence awareness from both of you, please.
3 again.
3, nice.
6.
Okay, Jax, as you're driving, concentrate on the road, trying to keep the car from sliding in the ice. You don't feel like you've been followed. Pip, Marco, as you were coming out of your vision, I guess, as Marco was talking to Jax and the gun went off, you were able to keep an eye on things, and now as the car's moving, you not driving yourself, you can keep an eye on everything around. No one seems to be following you. No cars, no people. If Marco was on your tail, you cannot see him, and with your perception, with your awareness, you're pretty sure you're not being tailed at all.
I don't think he's following us, Mr. Spencer. You caught him pretty good, it seemed.
Yeah, the first one, definitely. I'm pretty sure I didn't hit him after that. But we need to get to Elysium. The bulk of the council's there. I don't think he's going to risk coming there. Not at this moment. But we need to get back there. They'll be bringing Mary Wade back to the council. We need to talk to Echo. There's lots of things that need to happen.
Yeah.
We need answers. So many things that are just not right now.
Yeah.
Are you good? You saw something, but you're okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. We should try and get the information we need.
So
2
with that-
questions.
yes.
1, Pip, is your phone on? You turned it off previously.
It's still off.
Still off. Jax, is your phone nearby and on?
It will be on the clip on the dashboard. He normally puts it there as just in case.
Okay. So momentarily, as you've taken a few corners, slid around, talked a little, your phone would go off, Jax, ringing. It is one of your men from the crew that broke out Mary Wade.
I would hit it and put it on speaker.
The voice crackles over clearly, and he says, I'm looking at the team now. It's Benjamin's here, sir. Mary does not want to go to Elysium. She said it is compromised.
Does she say how?
She hasn't given us any details. She will only speak to certain people, and we are not those people. Though she is happy for her escape, she is extremely volatile right now, and she screams at us a lot, and you can hear in the background as she's making some horrendous noise.
Jax would say, "Are you able to put her on? Like put it on speaker so she can hear."
He goes, "Excuse me, Justicar Wade," and she's, "What? What is it? How dare you hand me this device? I will have nothing of it." He goes, she doesn't seem to like
Put it
technology.
on speaker so she can hear me.
Okay, yep, and you can hear his voice trembling. He clicks it to speak. You hear it click over.
Justicar Wade, this is Sheriff Jackson Spencer.
Sheriff, you say? Where is Marco?
Marco is compromised at this time.
Well,
We
I
need
know
to get
that.
you to safety.
Well,
If you will not go to Elysium, where will you be comfortable going?
Elysium has been compromised because of Marco. You should know this.
Are you aware of the new Elysium? The existing Elysium you knew is no longer being used.
Where is this new Elysium?
Gangster's Paradise.
Leslie's hangout.
Indeed.
Well, in that case, are you sure it is not compromised?
We're sure it's the safest place for everyone. The council is there currently, as is the new prince.
Safe is a terrible form of minded, you people. Kindred. I will go there. Take me there. Man, you in the dark here. Put the thing away, and you hear him. Sir, it's me again.
Do as she says. Get it to the new Elysium. Do it quickly.
Will do, sir.
Then I'll hang it up. And probably about that time we'll be getting close to pulling up to Elysium, I would imagine.
Yeah, if you're just sort of going a few blocks around.
Yeah.
No hassle. Momentarily, Zane, what are you doing the rest of your night as you're sort of hitting midnight? Around that midnight area is where we were, I believe.
I'll be making some orders, like tech orders, to get the place set up properly and to lock it down and all that kind of fun stuff.
So this apartment you're in, you are Zane making orders for tech stuff.
Yeah, black market stuff and all that.
Okay. Are you at all keeping contact with Jax and Pip, or are you avoiding any of that at this point?
Avoiding them at all cost.
You
I
have
don't know
cameras
who to
anywhere?
trust.
Do you have cameras anywhere that
At
you
the
are looking
moment,
on?
no. I probably do have cameras, linked cameras at Elysium.
I would imagine. Now, we haven't discussed this before, but I would imagine with you guys setting it up, you would probably have access to them anyway.
Yeah.
So, if you have anything you want to look at, you may within the Elysium car park and the building.
No, I'll just monitor it for now. Find out. Just keep an eye on things.
Okay, looking for anything out of place.
Yeah.
Within the current, if you scan through each camera within the current heating, within the current time of night that you're at, you can see a vehicle heading into the car park. Nothing unusual. You can see the guards, regular guards that stand around the space. You can see inside the building as you sort of sort through the cameras. And obviously some rooms, the meeting rooms where the Prince, the Justicars, and the rest of the council hold their meetings, they are camera free. But as a whole, for the main part of the building, it seems pretty quiet. Business as usual.
Cool. I will just keep monitoring.
Keep monitoring. No worries.
Nothing too drastic at this stage.
Okay. Jax and Pip, you roll into the car park of Elysium.
Jackson on purpose would go to the rear of the building instead of parking in the front like he normally would.
Okay. There is rear parking as well. So
normally he'd park in front and be quite visible, but this time he'll go to the rear of the building and use a rear entrance.
Okay, coming around to the back, you are stopped by two of the guards at the entranceway, and you said you had tinted windows, so they they wave you down.
I'd roll down the window.
One of them leans in, and it's one of your associated or assigned people. It is Lewis, and he says, "Sir, you," and he looks in, he says, "Pip, are you visible, eh?"
Yeah, Pip's sitting in the back. Keep saying that nursery rhyme, Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? And he's sort of like writing in his book, and he just keeps going on and on, just those 4 lines.
Lewis looks in and goes, "Just you and the +1, sir."
Expect Justicar Wade and entourage soon.
Yes, Benjamin's called through. He said he was on his way, struggling to get her into a vehicle, apparently.
She's pissed, and rightly so. After she arrives, no one else enters this building. And I mean no one without express permission from myself or the Prince.
Affirmative. I was told to let you know, Nathan mentioned it to me, the council has left the building this eve. They left just earlier.
Why have they left?
Echo and the council all had a matter to attend, she said.
Is the
Nathan
Prince
said.
still here or not?
No, she has gone with the council.
That is not good. Shit.
They all left in separate vehicles, and they had multiple guards and an entourage of a fleet. Different times.
Talk to Nathan. This is not good, Pip.
Yeah.
Right. I'll just wind the window up without saying anything, pull in, and hop out. Sort of poke my head in. You coming, Pip? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, Mr. Spencer.
We need to find out where Echo is. I don't know why she would leave the safety of Elysium, especially tonight. And why is she taking the council? This is not good. And like, Jackson's visibly worried. You can see that he's visibly sort of concerned and probably a little confused as to why they've all left Elysium.
As you enter the main or the entranceway from this side of the building, there's two more guards there. Two you don't recognise, but as you get closer, both of you would see that the way they're covered up, they've got their sort of mufflers, scarves, low-cut hats, and once you get close to their eyes, you can see they are of Nosferatu clan, hence the cover-up. And they look you both up and down, and they nod and don't use your names. They just say, "No disguises, good to see, you're welcome in."
And Jax just nod and walk past. And Jax would probably head directly to Nathan, where Nathan would normally hang out. Like, he's got an office somewhere. From memory, he has like an office back at the back of the bar.
Who had the office, sorry?
Nathan.
Nathan, yes. So behind the bar, there's an office space that is particularly Nathan's, yes.
I would head directly for that.
Pip, will you follow him?
Do I get the feeling that if we go in, it'll be hard to get out?
Give me a resolve awareness, please.
Resolve.
And for context, for storyteller, just for that very reason as well, Jackson will be armed, both pistols. He would have reloaded before coming in, and the hidden blade that he has in his jacket will also be with him.
Yep, and you guys know with Elysium, the rules that they have, you can't brandish weapons unless it's dire, but they don't rip them off you or take them away. Pip, you feel, well, what did you get?
3.
3. The building and its surrounding areas seems to have way more protection than normal, even as you sort of get to the doorway and are looking around to see if it's going to be hard to get out. As far as hard to get out, no, I don't think so. It doesn't look like the guards aren't letting anything bad happen here. This building is tighter than the previous 2 Elysiums as far as guards are concerned. You can see multiple windows that are easy to break to exit. Nothing seems to have massive shutters or anything, though you know as well as I do that there could be hidden arrangements.
Okay.
Totally up.
So,
As far as safety is concerned, you feel like this is a safer space than most of the places you've been in the last few nights.
yeah, so he'll sort of a bit warily follow Jackson when he enters the building.
Sweet.
Yeah, Jax would be aware, like he's moving with purpose to Nathan's office, but his eyes will be darting backwards and forwards as well, just clocking different people within the building. I would assume that we have humans in the building at this point.
So yeah, midnight, there's far less than normal, but yes, there are humans in the main part of the building.
Okay.
And you guys know through the smell of blood that human, probably a few ghoul, and definitely a lot of kindred.
Okay. So yeah, straight to Nathan's office. If the door's closed, he won't even knock. He'll literally just walk in.
Okay. The door is closed, and you walk in, and Nathan is there. He is sitting at a desk in his nice green suit, a little flower in his jacket. He looks
Why
up
has
to
the
his-
prince left Elysium with the council, Nathan?
She had matters she needed to attend, according to her. We tried to, and I say this, we tried forcefully to ask her to stay and the council to stay, but they thought with all the extra entourage that they would be safe.
Even
Might I
with
be-
the information that they've been given, they thought they would be safe leaving the safest building in Melbourne right now.
Might I be frank with you, Mr. Spencer? The information that you asked me to give them did not get to them. It fell on what I would like to say is deaf ears when I spoke to Prince Echo.
So it has not gotten to the council.
I called her aside. She assured me that she had things under control, and as far as I'm aware, that's as far as it went.
Don't you find that a little suspicious, Nathan? That important information, extremely important information, about the murderer of our former prince does not make it to the people that should see it.
I tried to get that across, Jackson. If you and Pip here would like to just close the door, I have something I must allude to.
Well, it appears there's virtually no one left in this building. What good is closing the door going to do?
When you
Out
close
with
it, you
it.
shall find out.
I'm going to throw up Daunt.
Yep.
Just, it's a habit. It's not intended to intimidate him. It's something that'll just happen with Jackson in this situation. He's getting upset. He turns to Pip, and Pip will notice too that you can see Jackson pissed off. He's angry. And sort of, if he was breathing, he would take a deep breath. You'd almost, he takes that pause. Like if he was human, it'd be the time where he'd sort of take that pause to calm himself enough to have a kind of a civil conversation. He'd say, Pip, would you mind closing the door for us?
Yeah, okay. I sort of slowly walk over and I sort of like wait and sort of look out the door for like a bit longer than you'd expect and then slowly close it.
And point of reference, Jackson's hand will be resting not on his weapon, but just on almost like on his stomach. Like both hands would be sort of resting on his sort of top of his stomach. Yep. Where he knows he can get to either pistol very, very quickly. He doesn't trust anyone right now.
Now, Pip, Mr. Spencer, what I am about to tell you is going to seem a surprise, I am assured. I do not follow Echo. Echo, you probably know, does not run by our rules. Nor is she Toreador, I'm sure. You know our friend Marco.
Friend is a loose term, but yes.
It may be a loose term to you. However, I, for all this, what it's worth, have been working for him undercover during this time to try and out.
Both weapons out, and not fired, but in his face instantly.
He doesn't.
Just a reaction.
He doesn't move. He says, Mr. Spencer, I find your Bruhanus ridiculous. Put them away. You're in no danger, and I am no danger to you. If you were to release even one weapon in here, not only would your friend Pip run from you, because it's fire, I can smell it. Secondly, every other guard in this building would burn you to the ground. Nonetheless, listen to what I have to say before you get crazy. This is why Leslie is in the place he is now. Too much anger, too much quick reactions.
Kind of can't help it.
The Sabat are trying to turn over Melbourne to themselves. We believe that Echo, and we have been believed for a couple of weeks now, that she is trying to take over this place for the Sabat. Melbourne itself, to be correct.
You realise that I have the same feelings and inclinations, which is why you were given the information you were given.
100%.
I kind of expected she wouldn't give it to the council, but I kind of needed to be sure.
I have my ways. Yes, I fed her the information, but those of the ones on the council we can trust, because we cannot trust them all. Some of them have listened to a little birdie I may have put in their ear. So yes.
I can tell you the Bruja will be on board.
Don't
without
count
a shadow
on
of
it.
a doubt.
Well, what you think you know and what you know are two different things, Mr. Spencer. Marco. Yes, he's not to be trusted. Of course, no one is to be trusted, but Marco's intentions are to that of the Camarilla, whereas Echo's intentions are not. However, without solid proof, which Marco has now, which he's supposed to be bringing here, without that proof, we are but saying words to the council, which they immediately will say, where is your evidence?
At this point, Jackson would relax a little bit, and he would put his weapons away, and he'll turn and look over his shoulder at Pip to see what reaction Pip is giving at this point.
Pip's just sort of staring off in the distance. You can tell he's listening, but he's sort of elsewhere.
Well, I have good news. Marco called me about 10-15 minutes back. He has secured someone by the name of Samantha and another one by the name of Taz or Tazzy. They were under the watchful eye of the Sabat, I believe. Marco's people have got them away from there.
Are you sure?
He knows a lot of people who are good with disguises. Oh, I'm sure. Marco wouldn't give me that information lightly. It was a lot of effort to get in and out of that damn church.
And Jax is visibly torn. Sort of paces backwards and forwards a little bit.
We had help from a good friend by the name of Van Diemen.
That makes sense. Pip.
Yes, Mr. Spencer?
I need you to make a decision, Pip. I know this is not the ideal situation for this, but hearing what you've just heard, what do you feel on this? What is your take on this whole situation? I know you're new, you don't understand or know the politics of our world as well as we do.
If Samantha's safe, that's... I don't understand all the mess and the Sabat and the Camarilla and those bikey ones. I don't understand it. It doesn't make much sense, and I don't really care, Mr. Spencer. And I don't mean that as a slight to you or Nathan. I don't think it matters to me.
And it is. I don't take it as a slight. We've all been where you are, where we didn't understand nor really cared. But once you get into it and understand where you are in this world, you will have to care at some point about which side of the fence you fall on. People's lives and unlives rely on that. The life of your friend, Samantha, relies on where you fall right now. If you don't believe that Echo Munro would not kill your friend if it suited her, then your loyalties are misplaced.
Pip will take out his phone and turn it back on, and he will excuse himself from the room. He'll leave the door open, and he'll go outside and make a phone call. But I'm assuming when he turns his phone back on, there'll be stuff on his phone.
Yeah, you know, if the phone loads up, and then as soon as it loads up, it's like bzz, 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 and you've got a few messages, one from Marco and a couple from Samantha. One missed call from Marco, one missed call from Samantha, and 2 or 3 text messages basically saying, "Why aren't you answering? Where are you? Trying to get a hold of you. Pick up your phone."
All right. So he will ring Samantha.
Okay. Takes a few rings. Samantha answers. "Pip, is that you?"
Yeah. Did they come? Are you safe?
I
You
think
must
so.
be safe. I'm talking to you.
Well, yeah. A couple of guys came into the church hall and where we were, and they said they were here to escort myself and Taz away, and everyone seemed to. I mean, we're in a car and we're headed to somewhere else.
Did they tell you where?
I don't know, but as we were leaving, some people were chasing behind the car. They weren't very happy. Don't know what's going on. It's weird.
Oh,
You definitely hang out with some strange circles of people now. Are we in trouble?
I think so. Yeah. Nothing but trouble.
Okay.
Is a man named Marco with you?
No, but the two here say they were sent by Marco. Marco Kane. They said he was concerned for our safety here. It is, I mean, at the church. It was like a cult. It was very much like a cult. Kind of glad. Your redhead friend was here, though. At the church, I mean. Yesterday.
Did she talk to you?
A passing hello. She was pleasant. I kind of saw some, I think I said to you I saw some, oh, did I? I can't remember. But we did see some weird things. They were like licking each other's blood or something. It was strange. Your friend Echo was doing it too. It was, yeah, I don't think they saw us looking, but we quickly got out of the way because it did not look cool. I really hope you're not mixed up in this cult. Is this a book you're working on?
No, just... Can you put one of the guys... You put one of those men on, please, Sam?
Okay, the older man, he seems to be in charge. Excuse me, Mr... what was your name? Billy? Yeah, here you go. No, William. I'm sorry, William. Hello?
Where the fuck are you taking her?
Who is this?
Doesn't matter. Tell me.
Marco
where?
has... Yeah.
No. Where?
We're taking it to a safe haven. I was strictly told by Marco not to tell anyone to keep her safe. Pip, is this you? This is William Chopin. I used to be the keeper in Elysium.
Pip will hang up. And then Pip will use Unseen Passage.
All right, Unseen Passage.
1 rouse check.
1 rouse check, my friend.
Yep. It's good on the rouse check, thankfully.
Okay. So you are moving into a space where you can't be seen, and then you've gone out of the room, sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Jackson would have been watching him as he left the room. So depending on how far he went, he wouldn't have been trying to listen on the phone call, but he'd be trying to keep eyesight on him. So if he did move out of view, he would then move to try and get him back into view, knowing what Pip can do.
Yep.
So I mean, he'd probably still have a chance to disappear, I would imagine, because it's an instant thing as soon as he's out of sight, I imagine.
Yeah. Pip knowing, I guess, using this ability a bit, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt with
I would,
Nathan
100%.
talking to you.
Yeah.
But you know he's around, and you know he is now disguised himself somewhat.
Well, I mean, you'll have an opportunity in a bit because Pip's going to sneak through the gap in the door and he's going to leave a note in Jax's whatever pocket he can sort of slide a piece of paper into.
Okay. So if you've made your rouse check, you were good. We just need to know... against you. Unseen Passage, here we go. Okie dokie. So, I'm going to, as you move through the room, so you've had your phone call, you're coming back through the room. Nathan and Jax would have probably carried on talking. Nathan says, Marco does have people who are loyal to him here. I am one of them. Jax.
Again, Jax, that visible pause as to where he would probably, again, if he was human, who'd take that deep breath in, almost that sigh, trying to weigh up his options here, trying to figure out quickly what he can do. he knows he's in a bit of a bind. He knows Nathan's probably a little bit more powerful than he is, and obviously in Elysium, even as a sheriff, attacking the keeper is not a good idea at this point. Jackson sort of tilts his head to one side and says, you know, every fiber of my being wants to tear your throat out and enjoy the unlife that leaves your body. But
save it for the Sabbat.
In saying that, I'm not unreasonable, nor am I above not even sure the word. I hate the Sabbat.
As this conversation is happening, Pip, this is your chance to smooch through the door, man. So, with your unseen passage up, going to get Jackson to roll. So it's going to be tough for you, Jackson, because you don't have anything active that can see him. So it's going to be a resolve awareness for you. Pip, you can give me a dexterity stealth, but you can also add your obfuscate dice to that.
Yeesh. That's actually a lot of dice, really.
Or something you would prefer.
That's
what
a
you
lot
gotta
of
do?
dice.
You gotta beat a 4. I got 4 on 4 dice.
Oof. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I just beat it.
Just beat him. Bearing in mind, even if you'd been lower, you're still invisible. It would have just been more something audible. Nonetheless, you're higher, so you get past, and however you get out the door, you tell us, because they are Jax and Nathan are not going.
Jax would almost be probably leaned over the desk, hands on the desk, like trying to almost stand over Nathan sitting at the desk, imposing his, like, really typical Bruja, really trying to impose his sort of size and strength.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Probably to not much avail at this
That'll
point.
help Pip get the letter in, because your pockets sort of
Yep.
Yeah,
bill
The
out
jacket
when
will
you
be
lean.
the jacket will definitely be out.
Um,
And it's a leather jacket, but it's not your biker style jacket. It's almost like a leather sports jacket, so it's got the big sort of pockets in the front. You know, it's kind of loose fitting, so it would, because he does hide a lot of stuff inside it, so it would definitely be more loose fitting. And I'd say it'd be relatively easy for Pip to get something in, like the pocket, front pocket, waist pocket on the right hand side.
With his unseen passage and his stealth, absolutely, Pip, you no hassle there.
and then he sort of goes back to the door and sort of slinks through, sort of like, you know, breathing in, even though he can't breathe. Sort of like trying to think thin, sort of, to get through the door. And then when he's on the other side, he's actually going to, like, nudge it with his toe so it closes as quietly as he can possibly manage.
Okay. I'll say that nudging it with your toe will push the door closed, but doesn't actually click the latch. It just sort of taps just ever so lightly, and you get through to the other side. Where are you going, Pip?
I am trying to get out of Elysium, and I am trying to go to the church.
Okay. You move through Elysium and get to the outside door where the first two guards were. One of them, as you come through the door, leans and says, "Good night. Will we be seeing you later?" As far as you're aware, you're still completely obscured.
I don't know if I speak, that it just drops it though.
You can whisper.
Maybe. We'll see how things go.
No worries. Hope you had a good night.
And he sort of looks down. He sort of found a makeshift sort of way to hold the gun he's been given on the bag. And he sort of just looks at the gun and nods, even though they can't see him. Well, he assumes he can see him, but...
Yeah. For all intents and purposes, the way he looks at you, he can see you as clear as day.
Yeah. So he knows I'm looking at the gun.
Just gives you like a tip of his hat and
Yeah.
lets you go. Back in the office, Jax, Nathan is, I imagine he's pure Toreador flower, leaning back in his seat, feet up on the table, just like he was in your office way back when. He's got his hands interlaced across his belly and just says, listen, you think we're on opposite sides here for whatever reason, but we are not. I assure you, Jax, and your hate for the Sabbat is probably a good thing. I assure you that Marco's intentions, though they are somewhat wayward, are much better than Leslie's. Leslie was just feeding us all to the wolves. He was angry. He was overbearing. He got things done for sure, but you ask any of the council, they'd had about enough of him. It was nearly time for turnover anyway.
So, answer me a few questions before I make my final decision on what foolhardy thing I'm about to do next.
Fire away.
First, the council is not aware that Marco was responsible for Leslie's final death if they did not get that information. Am I to be correct in that assumption?
You are correct in that assumption. The whole of the council is not aware.
Obviously, the Bruja Primogen is aware. If they have not extended that information to the remainder of the council, then I have been mistaken in where their loyalties lie. Well, when I say mistaken, their loyalties obviously lie to the ivory tower and not its head.
You are half correct. The Bruja Justicar is trustworthy. George Barrington has the information and he has shared it with those that we trust 100%. Unfortunately, there are those on the council who we think have been touched by the Sabbat. We are ignoring giving the information to them because we don't want to tip our hand too soon. Echo thinks the council are going to a place to meet with her. Some of them might be.
Question number 2.
Fire away.
You say that Marco has the evidence in which is needed to point fingers at Echo to have her removed as the Prince of Melbourne.
Correct. He says he has an audio recording. He couldn't get anything on camera because she blurs it out, and the audio recording is fuzzy, but he says it's enough. He also thinks there may be some others once he shows this audio recording that could give evidence visibly that they've seen things, but the audio recording should be enough for the council.
Has Marco told you of the contingency plan that I have in place to remove our prince if necessary?
Yes, he has. Now that is where and why I'm here to meet you. Marco was actually on his way here with the evidence.
Yes, Marco revealed himself to me on the street, which was not a good idea in the state of mind that I was in. And he received a rather nasty reception.
Oh, my dear idiot Bruja.
Let's chalk that up to payment for what he did to one of my men this evening.
What Marco did to one of your men?
And the Scourge. Which brings me to my next question. What the fuck is up with that guy? Who is he? Third, fourth, I forget. Lots of questions. What the fuck is the Scourge doing with Marco? Does Marco control the Scourge? What the fuck?
Well, you see, Zane, during this conversation, what is Zane doing? I will give you that answer eventually.
That's all good.
I wouldn't have seen Pip leave, would I?
If you have cameras on, or always on cameras, then you would have seen Pip and Jax go in. But as far as Pip leaving, I do not. Now let me check that. I actually don't know if this ability affects cameras. I don't know. I assume not.
No, I think it would.
No, yeah, sorry. I mean, I assume you didn't see him, is what I'm saying.
I'm under the understanding that he can't be seen on camera with unseen passage.
Yep, I'm going to say no because it doesn't look like there's anything obvious there. So, yeah, you don't see him leave the building.
Am I able to access any cameras near the church or in the church?
As far as the church is concerned, you've tried this before. You've got street cameras around the church, but that is about it. However, you would have seen, I would assume, if you look back through the log, let's go, how good are they? All right, let's go, give me, this is your, once again, your favorite thing, I suppose. Intelligence technology, please. Four. Rolling back through the street cameras and things, not really knowing, you're just looking at the church, not really knowing what you're looking for. You do spot a section, it's a distant camera, but you spot it as you're scrolling, you're like, hang on a minute, a couple of people just left the church hall and are being led to a car, and as the car goes, the doors burst open of the church hall and a few people, and I say people loosely, you can only be guessing if they're kindred or not, they burst out the doors and sort of chase the car, jump into vehicles and are following this other car. As you follow the cameras around the streets, the lead car that has, who you recognise as your friend Tassie,
Yep.
your ex-secretary or whatever she is now, she she and another woman were put in a car, and they basically they seem to have lost the vehicles that were tailing them, and after a time they head all the way to the old Elysium building, the original Elysium building, way back to where we were at the beginning of episode 1 of the campaign.
With the church, there was computers there, that wasn't there? There was a back room, if I remember correctly.
There is a back room with some minor computer technology, nothing fancy. Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't matter then. Sorry.
It's going to be a stock, it's the Sabat, man. They really don't do technology. So something to keep some notes on, maybe word processor, nothing linked to the internet if that's what you're getting at.
Okay, cool. So I'll start a database on all the council members, basically all the people that I've met and all that.
Okay, you would have also had camera footage of the main bar where Jax and Pip walked in and seen them walk into Nathan's office. Nathan's office wouldn't have a camera in it as such, but out the door, facing the bar, and his office is behind the bar, there is definitely footage of Jax and Pip entering. If you were watching that, you would have noticed that. Also, and I'm going to get you to give me a resolve awareness, please.
One.
You spot them go into the office, and that's about all you see.
Cool. Yeah, I'll just start compiling a database of the council and all members.
I will write that down, compile database. So you're just trying to find information on the council and the members of the Justicars, the council, incomplete. Okay, and with that, looking at the time, we'll have a quick 5 minutes and come back.
Sweet ass.
We'll come back to Pip and Jax.
All right, chat. We're going to take 5. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Well, hello there. And we're back. What's up, chat? Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate the support as always. And we will get back into our story. It's getting juicy.
Pip, you head out of the area that is the Gangster's Paradise, which the name on the building is, during the day, looks like has been taken down, and the startings of the letters of the Manhattan is going up. But you head out of the area. Where are you going?
So Pip is trying to make his way to the church that he was at previous nights ago.
Ah, yes, a few nights back. Okay, how are you going to get there, sir?
So at first, like, he'll stand outside and he'll think about it for a bit, and he'll, open his phone and he'll like Google Maps. It tells you like how far it is on foot, and he'll be like, and then he'll sort of stare at the messages in his phone, think of what Nathan said to him, and he'll ring Marco.
Marco picks up his phone and says, "Yes."
So you're not dead?
No, child, it'll take more than that to put me down, but far out, my face is hurting.
It's a bad idea to talk to Mr. Spencer at that point in time.
He and you met me in the park and asked me for evidence, which I had.
Yeah, he's very angry, though.
Much like the Bruja themselves, much like Squizzy, treats everyone like a piece of shit and expects to get everything he wants. Pip, what is it you need? I have important business.
I need to get to the church. You know the one.
Pip, are you alone?
Yes.
I don't recommend going to the church. I have the girls. They are safe.
I'm not after them. I have business.
I don't think this
the
is
church.
wise. The Sabak can twist your mind.
And he just starts laughing. Like just this like light giggle at the idea that he would think that Pip does not know.
That's fair. He goes, okay, I have people nearby. I can get you a car. They will take you somewhere safe.
Do you know where she is?
Yes, they're going to a hideout I have.
Not her. You know who I'm talking about.
Yes, I know where she is. I have people on her. I'm sure Jax does too.
I need to go, Marco.
I'm sending you a car.
Thank you.
Don't get dead. Take Jax, it might help you. And he hangs up. Within moments, 2, maybe 3 minutes, a car, and now you're still invisible. You're still under your ruse. So a vehicle pulls over nearby, sort of not quite at the driveway of the Manhattan, the Gangster's Paradise. And a driver gets out and he's looking around for someone.
Does he leave the door open?
He does.
Oh, man. Yeah, Pip's going to jump in the driver's seat and drive off.
Okay.
Awesome. I love it.
All I will say is he's just... This particular kindred does not have skill to see you. I'll just get you to roll your... Give me a composure stealth, but add your obfuscate to there.
Stealth, obfuscate. Oh man, rolling lots of dice tonight. 4.
Oh, nice.
Which is not very high considering how many dice I've got.
He doesn't even hear you. You just get in the car and you know how to drive, man. You close the door and he sort of turns around and goes, "Hey," and boom, you just take off. Now, heading to the church by foot would have been definitely some time. You're going to cut it down, at least by, well, it's going to take you maybe 10 minutes. A little bit of traffic and stuff, but you can 10 minutes to get to this church, maybe 15 if it's a bit rough. It is icy, it is cold. Give me that dexterity drive, my friend. That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you now.
I remember the last time we did this.
And first things first, before you roll those dice,
Yeah.
the speed limit in Australia, is it the same as New Zealand in a town? Is it 50 kilometres per hour?
It is 50, yeah.
Right, are you sticking to 50?
I think Pip's smart enough to know not to go over the speed limit because he doesn't want to be stopped.
Okay,
So,
that is excellent.
all right, because I've got 2 dice,
Yeah, so I'm rolling.
both of them blood.
So I'm rolling. Oh Jesus! So I'm rolling a couple of dice here because the weather conditions, for one, there would have been more dice if you were breaking the law. At this point, you're not breaking the law, so it's just the weather conditions. You're rolling your drive.
I've never been so afraid. 1, which is better than I thought I'd get.
That's actually pretty good. So I rolled a 1 for the weather conditions. All you're going to have to do is beat what I rolled. So that is a good sign. You head down the street, you turn around the corner, you indicate you're doing the right things. You're driving a little quick as far as you're driving at 50, but you're doing the corners at 50 as well. The street lights are just changing to green and you're going through them. You slide on one corner a little bit, but you're keeping it up. You tend to be, I think you're in that mindset. The beast you've just pushed down just far enough to be happy. You're not overly hungry. I believe you're at 3 hunger, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you're about mid-hunger point. You've just got the control. You're just concentrating. You are still, with your with your cloaking device active, you are still invisible. And as far as you go under streetlights, any onlookers look past, they just see this vroom, as a car drives past with no one seated at its driver's seat. Luckily, no one's really taking that much notice. It takes you that few 10, 12 minutes, and you're a block away from the church now. Are you parking right in front of the church, or are you going to park back a little?
Having seen what he saw from the vision, he will park back a little.
Okay. You pull out to the back, just a ways from the church, say, what, half a block?
Yeah.
Yeah. And here, it's your choice. You tell us what you do from here. You're sitting at the driver's seat, the engine's still running, you have parked.
So before he even gets out of the car, he'll do Sense the Unseen, which is free, thankfully.
It is indeed. Sense the Unseen, you pick up, looking around the churchyard. Every entranceway has at least 1, if not 2, guards. Zane, I saw your hand there.
Would I have seen the car pull up with the cameras outside and all that?
Yes, yep. With you viewing the cameras, cars are driving by, but it's midnight. It's very settled. Yes, there's traffic. It's Melbourne. The town, the city moves all night long, but the traffic is lighter than usual. And you do see a vehicle pull up nondescriptly about a half a block back from the church and just sits there momentarily.
Do I notice any doors opening?
A lovely little brown sedan. Does he notice the doors opening, Pip?
Pip's going to sit there for a bit.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, Pip, as you're sitting there, Jax. Nathan takes his feet off the table and leans on his armrest on his chair, and he says, the Scourge, yes. What would you like to know about him?
Everything. Like, is he with Marco? Is he not with Marco? Because even if Marco succeeds in what he wishes to do, we can't have this fucktard running around Melbourne killing people.
The Scourge is an issue, I agree. Marco thought and still believes he has some control over the Scourge. The Scourge is blood-bound to Marco. However, the Scourge's erratic will, his continuous butcher behavior, is going to get us all killed or found by the SI. Marco knows this, and Marco has a plan to put the Scourge back in its cage.
Why
Easier said
not
than
just
done.
get rid of it permanently?
A weapon like that,
A weapon you cannot control is not a weapon. That is a problem.
Jax, if that was the case, the council would have put you down.
Touché. Okay, that aside. If he can get him back in the box, that's at least something.
Yes. It usually takes us to get him to hunger frenzy to get there. That's the problem. He's been feeding nightly too often, if anything.
I have the scars to prove that. Anyway. So. I have one or two more questions, which I think Marco would be the only one that could answer. So you say he was coming here. Probably not a good idea at the moment, as Justicar Wade will be arriving sometime very shortly.
Oh dear, who sent her here?
Duh, it's the whole idea of freeing her was to bring her back here.
Oh, we assumed she would be not wanting to come anywhere near Elysium she knows about Marco betraying Leslie. That's a little of how this began.
My point is she Camarilla or is she Sabat?
She is Camarilla, through and through.
So therefore, if Marco is to assume power of Melbourne, she will fall in line.
Yes,
to a degree.
The problem, she used to back Marco, but she suddenly grew a disliking for him. I don't know the details. That's something you may have to ask him.
Then she's going to be a major problem for his plans, then it seems.
Yes, we weren't aware she was going to be released so easily, but nonetheless, if that's the case, we shall make sure her. And he sort of hastily stands up and goes, I might get some people to ready her a room then.
Well, I'm not sure if she's going to stay here. My intention was to bring her here to see the prince. The prince, air quotes. But I'm not sure that's a good idea. I'm not sure what Echo intends to do with Mary Wade either.
Jackson, your phone and a phone on the desk of Nathan, both within seconds of each other, buzz. Both of them. His isn't silent. I assume yours is the same.
Yeah.
He sort of clicks his open. It's an old flip-top style phone. And he looks at it and he goes, it seems the council are swapping cars. Do you check your phone?
With him saying that, definitely.
It looks by your men, they've flicked you a message saying the Canary has moved to cage number 2, which you would take as part of your trap setup.
So with that, I'd look at Nathan and say to him, bring Marco now. I have Echo in a position that can be dealt with now. I need to talk to him.
He opens his phone, and right as he does, a panel in a wall from behind clicks, opens through, and Nathan spins it, puts his hand up to you. Yeah,
guns drawn, just pointing at there.
He sees where you're going.
Just total reaction.
He puts his hands up to you through the door.
I don't pull the triggers, it's just instinct to point the guns at a possible threat.
Through the door, one William Chopin steps. It's a hidden secret passage type door and only visible once it's opened. And Chopin sort of puts his hands up and says,
as soon as I see him, I'd relax.
Yeah. Okay, easy. And Nathan goes, we were just talking about you. Jackson, this is Marco. Give him a moment to readjust.
The moment that Jackson hears that, he would just, motherfucker.
Marco's
Still relaxes
face,
his weapons though, but
he morphs over a few seconds back to Marco, and you can see scarring all up the side of his face, burns, one ear is half melted. He nods and he goes,
I'll take a step forward and get right nose to nose with him.
listen, Jackson, what's done is done. I have the evidence that you require. I'm not 100% sure what your beef is here.
Answer me one fucking question before you say anything else. This plan was in place for as long as I believe it was. You've known me long enough to know where my loyalties lie. Why did you not talk to me and involve me? All of this could have been avoided.
Wrong. What you don't understand, Jackson, and you should, is the Sabbat can control people. You yourself said that Jonathan Phillips had got into your head.
Yet I'm still here.
Correct.
Still following Camarilla law. Still
didn't
protecting the Camarilla. From you, I thought.
Protecting them for me. I'm the one who gave you the hound's position in the first place. I'm the
That
one who
brings me to
trusted
my
you.
other question. Why us? Of all people, did you put us together? Did you know Echo was Sabat then? Was it
No.
to bring us together to trap her? Why such a group? I kind of understand Pip. I get that now.
Pip. Where is Pip? Did he come back?
Come back from where he was outside on the phone.
He's off somewhere. He's got a car. I gave him one. He's outside when I talked to him, I believe.
Gone where?
I'm not 100% on that, but he is looking for Echo, I think. Maybe the girl he was friendly with. Nonetheless, he is a mastermind. He's only young, yes, but I knew where his powers were headed. I know his sire. Jackson, we chose you, the lot of you. Yes, on the night there was some problems. The original team wasn't fully there, and we added a couple of extra, Echo being one. At that stage, we had no idea that she was Sabat, and that's how this problem's happened. But the idea that we thought was that between you, Zane, Pip, Aaron, that you would find out.
Oh,
or get to the bottom.
you've screwed Zane up something shocking. He's gone
Zane-
into hiding.
Yeah,
He is a fucking mess.
he sure is. I agree. He was a mess before it began.
Oh, he's worse now. Like, way worse.
Problem is, his skills are necessary. That's why he was on the team.
You
Who
know,
put him in the field anyway?
you know these other people that can do that besides him? I mean, he's good at what he does. I'll give you that. Echo put him in the field. I didn't want him anywhere fucking near me. Like, he's a liability in the field. 100%.
See, straight away, I thought that you lot would discover the Sabat truth, and while I was getting Leslie out of the picture, you would allude to that, and then we would be warring against them. I was sure from the beginning that this was about the Sabat taking over, and her taking the place of Prince only proves it. I have the recording, and he holds up an old school looking tape deck, like a little Walkman style tape deck.
Right. You tell me now that that's enough, the council, to do whatever they need to do, and I can end this now, tonight.
Well, decide for yourself, and he clicks play. Zane. I love this. Good. Zane, you actually we'll go to Pip first. Pip, you're sitting in the car. Do you eventually help out?
Yeah. So is it quieter than it was? I suppose it's the outside, and I didn't really see the outside. So did you say 2 people on each
on each entrance, yeah. And there's
Yeah.
a couple of side doors at the church. There's a main front door, as you would expect, the big double doors. There's, and from what you can remember from the interior, because this was a vision, there's at least 4, maybe 5 different exits from that space. But visually from where you are, you can see a hall that backs onto the church as well. And that has at least 2 exits on this side that you can see. Windows are all high, but they don't look like they're usable as functional exits. Well, unless you smash someone through them.
Which is unlikely. So Pip will get out of the car, and he'll sort of study the people at the door a little bit. Knowledge is power, after all. And he'll sort of weigh up his options and walk towards... trying to work out how he determined which door to walk to. Yeah, I don't know. He'd walk up to the door and he's still invisible, and he'd sort of like just wave at the people at the door to see if they could see him.
Okay. You first things first. So you're looking at them.
Yep.
Studying them. So give me. That's an interesting one. Give me a resolve. Do you have any points in Streetwise?
Streetwise. Don't think so. No.
So just a resolve investigation as you study them.
Yep. 3 of those. One.
Looking at the guards at the door, they just look like, as most of the crew around this church do, they look like they could possibly be brothers or priests, sisters. They're not dressed in like crazy nun garb or anything like that, but it's just simple black uniforms with the men usually have a white undercollar. Those who don't are just a simple black and with grey shirts underneath. Ties, nice dark grey ties. They don't seem to have spotted you. They look around, but that's about all you can gauge at this point from your current position. Zane, you saw him step out of the vehicle. No, you didn't. You saw the vehicle door open and close.
So
There you go.
no, go on, Zane.
So at this stage, I still don't know. I just know that something's happening. I just don't know whose.
Correct.
There
You
or
saw,
not.
you saw a light brown sedan pull up, and the door opens. After a while, the door closes. And that's about it.
Actually, oh no, I wouldn't even know because it's not Jax's vehicle; it's someone else's.
Nope.
So that's out of the question. Yeah.
That's right. Just chime in if you need to, Zane. Pip,
Yep.
what else are you doing?
So Pip will just go to the closest door and sort of stand like a couple of meters away and just sort of like wave like a lunatic.
I'm going to roll some dice. You wave like a lunatic. One of the, and I use the word guard loosely, one of the brothers, one of the priest-like people, as you're getting closer, you could hear the discussion. Says, looks at the other and says, Arturo and Jonathan are going to be fuming. The other one says, yeah, we lost both of the humans one night. It's not a good look. When they get back, they are going to want answers, and I can imagine there's going to be, vitae everywhere. They don't seem to notice you waving like a lunatic.
Alright, so Pip will move further away. This is going to be really stupid, but anyway. He's going to move further away, he's going to grab the gun out, and he's going to try and aim for a patch on the ground, not near them, but in an area where they might be troubled by sudden burst of explosive round.
Okay. So whereabouts are you standing in relation to them? Are you going towards the building and firing from behind them, or are you firing them from a distance and firing at the ground in front of them?
Sort of behind them and sort of trying to fire in front of them, but like a reasonable distance.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So
This
you
is
move
gonna
to a
go
position where you're sort of almost, because they're about
Which
a meter
weapon?
off.
Because I believe you swapped your pistol for a shotgun.
Yeah, it's a shotgun.
So you're going to have
Oh,
to
so
get
it's-
pretty close.
Incendiary shotgun.
Dragon's
it's
Breath
firing
doesn't have a huge range.
firing at the ground in front of them. So,
Yeah.
and they're about a meter off the wall. They're not standing back to back against the door. So it's easy enough to get around sort of beside-ish, one of them, a couple of meters back. Now, knowing shotguns, Jackson probably knows that. You don't know shotguns.
No.
So,
No, I don't know.
so how far away do you think you're going to aim this
I
shotgun?
did tell him when I gave it to me to have to get a lot closer than regular.
did?
But I
To-
didn't
to
tell him
hurt
how
people.
close, so.
Yeah. Roughly, Pip, how far from them are you shooting to the ground?
It'd be 2 meters.
Okay,
That'll be
not-
close
that's
enough.
not too bad. So give me that. Now, shotgun kick. I'm going to say strength firearms for this one.
That's 2 dice again.
Oh,
That's 2 blood dice too, isn't it?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's 2 blood dice. What could possibly go wrong?
Come on, guys, give your dice to Pip. He needs the.
No, nothing. Blank.
Blank and blank.
Oh, no.
Hmm.
Oh dear. You fire the weapon. The barrel itself just ignites in front of you, and the ground in front of them, kind of where you want to be shooting, but it kicks and you sort of pull up as it fires. Thankfully, shooting away from the building, it just blasts a tree, like a large shrub with a thick trunk, and poof, that tree is on fire. One of them turns straight to you. Now, making this much noise, I believe you'd be knocked out of your obfuscation.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
So you're sort of shunted back a little as you trigger upwards. One of them looks at the tree and he's going to. It's close. I mean, it's close. The tree's like you sort of aim that 2 meter distance, maybe 2.5 to 3 meters is this tree, this small shrub, this tree, and he's going to make a. I mean, it's fire. He's making a willpower save. The other one turns immediately to you. He's also going to make a willpower save first.
So you got some dice there, Pip.
There you go.
Extra black
Hooray.
and a willpower.
So the one looking at
Hey.
the shrub you ignited into fire just turns his face and drops to his knees and goes, no, and he just, boom, straight into the church door. He freaks out. The other one doesn't fail his roll. And he turns to you and he's like, what are you doing here? And he just launches at you. He makes Zane.
So, do any of the cameras that I have access to pick up any of this?
So he's yes, you can see this doorway clearly. It's the same doorway they brought the girls out of. Sorry, it's near the same doorway that they brought the girls out of. They came out of the hall. This is the church doorway that he's at, one ahead of it. So you would see. It would probably in your cameras too. It'd be just a bright light, and then suddenly Pip's standing there with a shotgun in his hand, and there's a dude running inside. There's fire in a bush.
Okay, with that, I rig up a call to the police saying shots fired at this location.
Oh, nice. Okay, you ring them on the phone.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do that. Are you going directly to police? Do you have a direct contact at the police, or are you just ringing the local number, or are you just doing the emergency?
I'll do the direct approach.
Okay. Yes, Constable Johnson speaking.
Shots fired at the outer cathedral.
Okay.
The
Who might I
address
say is
is
speaking?
Pip.
Pip. Do you have a last name, Pip? Quickly now, this is urgent if shots are fired.
Pip is my name. Have no
Okay.
last name.
Mr. Pip, hold tight. We will be there soon.
Okay.
Stay on the line. I'm going to give you to my assistant here while we organise everything. And he hands a phone over to a young lady, and she says, "So, Mr." And you can hear she's sort of reading, "Mr. Pip," and you can hear moving in the background. "Shots fired at the cathedral," blah, 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 and they sort of move in the background. And she says, "Can you give me your exact address, sir?"
And I do that, the cathedral's address.
Okay. And how many people would you say are in this building?
Unknown number.
Unknown number. And are you within the building yourself, sir?
No, I'm outside.
Okay. Are the assailants of Muslim descent?
Unsure.
Unsure. Are the assailants possible? No, never mind. We've had a prank call of this already tonight. Sir, is this a serious call?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Okay, please hold the line, and you go through the usual rigmarole. Back to Pip. This one has, Kindred has lunged at you. I better open my NPC sheet. This one, Kindred, has lunged at you after the gun's gone off. He no weapon in his hand. He takes a pretty quick swing with just his bare knucks. Here's some hunger dice. One, two, three, four, 5 successes. You give me a dexterity athletics to get out of the way, man. I know it's not Pip's wheelhouse, but unfortunately he's fully visible now.
Well, I can use the extra black dice, because I actually need another blood dice. Is it 3 blood dice?
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
means I can't use the willpower anyway, because
Right.
you can't re-roll blood
Can't reroll
dice.
blood, yeah.
No, you cannot.
Yeah.
Damn,
2 out of 3.
that's not bad.
Okay. So you managed to reduce some of the damage. He got a little more than you. So you're going to take 2 superficial damage as he just slams into you, drives a fist up into your stomach and then across your face. You can reply.
Sweet Moses, that has a lot of kick to it.
You are still holding the rifle, just so you're aware.
Has he got me? Has he got hold of me?
No, he's just giving you 2 good solid hits.
Make Jackson proud. Do it.
I would say after he's hit you, you can see he's about to rouse his blood. So you would know the look because you vampires all have it. He's about to do something else. So you have your chance.
He's gonna say that he's looking. I'm looking for Mrs. Ashton's. Mrs. Ashton here. I'm sorry about the fire. I'm not very good with guns.
Okay.
I probably shouldn't have it.
Give me a composure persuasion now, please. Do you have anything powers-wise you can throw up at this time to help you?
I really don't. It's all invisibility and stuff.
Okay.
And that's still only 3 blood dice.
Oh no.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So remember, if you have another option of what you can use, charisma persuasion or manipulation persuasion, something like that would work. You're trying to convince him that you want to see Miss Ashton.
Yeah, they're all the same.
Okay. All right.
And I haven't got any of the skills that I think would work.
No problem. So that's your dice pool.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah.
Sorry, my friend. Might
2
not be
again.
a 9. 2 again. Okay. He's going to make an opposing roll. He also has only 2 blood dice. But he makes 2 successes. So you say the name Miss Ashton. He says, I don't believe you know Miss Ashton like you think you do. And he grabs you around the throat. He is going to... Black smoke, which you've seen from Echo before, I believe. Black smoke oozes out from around him. And as he lunges for your neck, he makes an extra strike using his touch of oblivion. Just to make a rouse check. Which he passes.
I have a question. Does
Yes.
Pip still have the original phone that was given to him?
Pip, you can answer that
Yes.
question. I don't know. Yes, he does.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. So with that, I'd like to send a flood packet to the phone to cause it to explode.
Okay.
Overcharge the battery, making it explode.
And in his, like, it's on his person as far as you're aware.
Yes.
So you're not worried about him at this point. You're just going to make it explode.
Trying to save his life, but hey.
I understand. I'm just making sure I got this right.
I'm just trying to remember if I've got because I did lose a phone, but you would know this phone anyway, so it wouldn't
Yeah,
matter.
you guys
But
have been texting back
I think
and
we've
forth on
all
it, so-
lost at least one
We've all
phone.
lost multiple phones. Definitely.
So first things first, we'll just resolve this, and you can be Zane. We can say this is sort of simultaneous. So he's going to make his attack with his touch of oblivion up, which makes him rather strong as he grips you around the neck, and he is trying to break bones, break vertebrae. Sort of, he's gripping you here, so he's going like side of the neck, top of this bone here, which I cannot recall the name of.
Collarbone.
Collarbone. There it is. You are going to need to roll strength and brawl with me.
Or Pip. That's all blood die too, isn't it?
Yeah, probably for him it is.
I lucked out something fierce on that. I've got 2 criticals.
Ah, nice.
Okay, so 2 criticals gives you 4 successes. I got 4 natural successes, and so no crits. So it's 4 versus 4. So instead of taking the amount of aggravated damage, 2 levels is what you would have taken. You're only going to take 1 aggravated damage from this attack, Pip.
Yeah.
Which puts you at 1 aggravated and at 2 superficial now. You...
Shayla.
At this point here, we're going to just look back at Zane for a second. Zane, now you've overcharged this phone. Give me that. Now, yep. Go
Yeah,
for
where
it.
you go.
I was just going to
So
say... Sorry, mate. You go.
with the phone, you'll be hearing a tone building up as it's charging. So
Oh, yeah, okay.
almost ear piercing. If I succeed.
So right as you take that grip around the neck and he's trying to break your bone there, it doesn't feel like the bone breaks, Pit, but it feels like it clicks a lot and something happens in your neck and you feel your own vitae sort of squeezing out of the wound. And you hear your phone then go doo 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 doo. It sort of picks up in pitch. You have a split moment to do something.
So Pip will try and get out. It'll be really raspy. Can I get that? It's really annoying when a phone's ringing, you know. He'll sort of like try and fumble with his other hand to get the phone out.
Okay. You're going to give me a give me a dexterity athletics.
Dexterity.
This is still not your warehouse. Dexterity athletics, because he's grabbed you. He's doing some damage. You're trying to grab your beeping phone. Meanwhile, Zane, I want to see how bad this goes off. Give me an intelligence technology, please.
I got 1.
Okay. Yeah, you fumble the phone, but you get it into your hand, but you don't get it out of your pocket.
Six.
So Pip, I would say you've got your hand in your pocket, you've felt the phone, you can feel it heating up, and you can push it forward in your jacket or wherever pocket you've got it. But unfortunately, you're just not dexterous enough to get it out in this position you're in. As it goes off, both of you are going to take. So it's a phone battery. I'm going to say 2 superficial, which you can reduce. Same roll as previous, giving me a similar dexterity, athletics. As you know it's going off, you get to make the save. The assailant does not. He is taking 2 aggravated.
I got a max of 2.
Nice. So you're going to be able to reduce that. As you know it's about to go off, you get your hand out of the pocket and you sort of turn yourself so that the phone side is to your assailant, and you turn your face away, you taking 1 more aggravated damage and not 2. As the assailant takes 2. He does not look good. The assailant lays down on the ground. You can see part of his jacket, the black jacket he's wearing, is part of the chest is blasted open, and you can see the undead skin underneath, the vitae sort of oozing, almost coagulated, like thicker than normal, oozing from the wound. And he's like, oh, you will both need to roll willpowers because it is a fiery blast.
Hey.
Which he fails. No blood dice for a willpower roll.
Yeah.
I believe this is a free one for you, Pip, if you decide to use it.
It's redeem 1 free willpower roll.
Nice. So you don't even have to mark it off. What did you get?
3.
3. 3's good. It beats my 0. So the man in the suit on the ground, the kindred in the suit, is just trying to. He's patting out the flames on his jacket. He's like, no, no, fuck, no. And he sort of stop, drop, and roll type scenario. He scrambles himself back into the building, running away, following his friend previously, giving you a chance. Fortunately for you, you managed to turn the phone. Most of the blasts went to him. You are not on fire at this point. Your jacket's smouldering.
So I'd also like to make a call to Elysium.
Yep.
To the landline, seeing I don't have the, so it'd be to the bar to start off with.
Sweet. So the front desk, there is just a desk clerk, a ghoul, that answers and says, "Hello, the Manhattan.
Manager, now. Manager, now. Manager, now."
And you hear, when someone puts their hand over the phone, it's like, "Nathan, I think someone wants you, mate." And you hear some footsteps, and then picks up the phone and says, "This is Nathan speaking.
Pip needs help. Quick. Cathedral. Pip needs help."
Right, back in the office, Jackson and Nathan. Jackson, there's back and forth conversation had about the Scourge. Oh, that's right. Marco
was about to play the tape to
Sweet,
Jax.
He's about to play the tape. I will play the tape, and then we'll get to the phone conversation that just came through. So Marco holds up the recorder and hits play, and you hear that.
And I haven't moved. I'm still virtually nose to nose with them. I'm just not blinking, just not breaking eye contact with them.
Sweet. You hear that tape roll that we also used to back in the 90s. And it starts partway through a conversation. You hear that instructions are simple. Now that you are Prince and have infiltrated the Cam, you must make war between those factions. A war between the Anarch cowards and the Camarilla fascists. Then Echo's voice comes through. Yes, Arturo. Within I'm unable to locate Miss Hall, and her voice sort of in and out as she speaks. It's not perfect like his seems to come through. With Miss Hall unlocatable, it won't take much push. The male voice comes back through and says, agreed. Her murder by the Cam has definitely got the ball rolling. Just give it another nudge in the right direction, then drop this facade. The Sabbat will then sit at the Melbourne throne, so to speak. Get it done, no more theatre. Echo's voice again. I understand, my sire. I'm sure I can convince Pip, Zane, and Isaac that our movement is the right path. Aaron and Jax, however, I'm not so sure. As long as you can keep their friends safe, I'm sure the others will side with their prince. Then the male voice once more. Bah! Don't let it go to your head, daughter. That title is theirs, not ours. Keep doing your job well, and you will be Archbishop of Melbourne as promised. The phone hangs up, and he stops the tape.
With that, as soon as he stops the tape, Jackson will take his phone out of his pocket and he'll bring up his contact list, and the contact number on speed dial that he has for a Theodore Nelson Thomas.
Yep, Theodore Nelson Thomas.
And he will look, like, again, not breaking eye contact with Marco, and put the phone towards him and say, just press send. And Echo disappears.
Done. He grabs the phone and he presses send. I have some dice preset aside for this moment. One set tells me what happens. You know what happens. The rest of the audience does not. But one set tells me what happens. The other set tells me how well it goes. I'm writing numbers down. Okay, and while that's going on, the phone goes out in the front office. A woman calls to Nathan. Sir, there's someone on the phone for you. Nathan says, excuse me, I'll take that, and goes out to pick up the phone. Okay, I've got some results here. You have a crew watching this vehicle as well. So
and their instructions are to ensure that she does not survive.
Nathan picks up the phone and says, yes, what is it?
Pip's in trouble. Cathedral, quick! Cops called. Hurry!
He's at the Sabbat church.
Yep, there. Quick, move.
He hangs up on you before you can hang up on him.
Yes.
And he moves straight back into the room with you, Jax, and Marco. As Marco hands you back your phone, two things happen at once. Nathan comes in and says, Pip's gone to the Sabbat church. I don't think it is a church night. Therefore, I do believe he is in some trouble, according to your friend Zane on the phone.
Or anyone says anything, the moment I hear that Pip's gone to the Sabbat church, Jackson's heading for the door. Doesn't even speak to anyone, doesn't say anything, just turns and heads the door, probably not even opening the door, probably going through the door. He's moving
Marco's
with
right
purpose.
on your heels as well. Mind you, I say right on your heels, he takes the 3 seconds to shapeshift so he can walk through the building. No, he does not. He knows what's going on. He goes out the door he came in.
Yeah. Jackson just heads for his vehicle.
Nathan stays where he is, knowing that he will be of more use there, because as you guys are heading out the door, a couple of 3 vehicles pull up. So I would say you're walking towards your vehicle, Jax,
Yep.
and
Well,
3
probably
vehicles drive
running.
straight past you.
Yeah, probably not walking, be running.
Running, okay. And you said your vehicle was out the back.
At the back,
park,
yeah.
So, yep, sweet. You have no sign of Marco at this point. You get in your car and go.
Yep, I'm not even worried about him. I'm going after Pip.
Cool, man. The car roars up and you get in and head towards the church as the 3 other vehicles move in to the building behind you.
And point of reference, Jackson will not be going slow.
Your phone rings you as you are driving hectically, and I'm going to get to make I'll get you to make your dexterity drive roll first because you said you're not going slow, so your phone's going off as you're driving.
I will throw up rapid reflexes, knowing I am going to be driving at speed.
Rapid reflexes is free, is it?
It is.
I believe it is.
Give me. So, am I able to add celerity to that roll? Is the question.
I would say yes. Yes.
Because reaction time would be a lot quicker.
We do that a lot.
Ooh, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 successes.
7.
That's some good driving skills that Jackson has right there. Jackson, you rouse your blood in complete anger, I would assume you were feeling?
Anger, concern, pretty much, it's just pretty much shit, fuck, what's Pip done? Gotta go find him, gotta save him.
So Zane, you're seeing this in real time or through your cameras, straight out of the car park. Jax moves out of the building as fast as he can. He jumps into the car as he's leaving 3 other vehicles into Elysium. And Jax is speeding down the street and you're sort of switching camera to camera following him and you know where he's headed. You've seen what Pip is up to and it's obvious he must have got word. You can see on the back of Jax's car, something lays on the boot. Looks like a large snake. Jackson.
I can't do much about that.
Nope. It will take you a few minutes to get there, Jackson, even in the speed you're doing. But your phone has gone off.
I'd just quickly take it out, answer it, throw it on the passenger seat with speaker on.
It was Benson, and he says, Sir, everything looks like it's gone as promised. The vehicle is in flames. Looks like the human driver is dead, and there's just smoke everywhere.
Keep your distance. Make sure she doesn't walk away.
We're moving in, but nothing has moved for quite a few moments now. Very black smoke here.
You do not leave that scene until you confirm.
I'll call you
back. Do you understand me?
I understand you.
And I wouldn't even hang up. We're not going to hang up and just keep driving. Just let him hang up.
As you hear them, like you can hear his team, him and a few other walk in, and then you hear the phone go, and then it hangs up. He, as far as you're concerned, he's moving in to check. The Pip, we're back with Pip. Pip.
I'd like to rewind a bit, if I may. Pip's going to try and grab that guy before he makes it inside. Yeah, it's probably not going to go well, but he's going to try.
I will make you aware that gun went off, made a big loud noise. One dude's already run inside, so grabbing this guy, absolutely worth it for you. But they probably have heard you. Give me. Yeah. So it's going to be. He's trying to move away quickly, so he's going to roll dexterity, athletics. You're trying to grab him. So your choice of strength, athletics, or strength brawl, or dexterity, athletics, dexterity brawl, something to that effect. Unless you can think of something better.
Man, if only I could use stamina. But I just don't. I
can't. Stamina is definitely.
Yeah,
it's definitely you're not chasing someone down, or you're not swimming a long distance or anything like that. And at this point, sorry, I don't have.
Strength and dexterity is the same, so.
Okay, yeah.
But I've got nothing in skills that would.
Yeah, you're not a melee class, unfortunately.
Nope.
So I didn't roll wonderfully, but I got 2 fancy anks, which gives me 4 successes.
Yeah. No.
Okay. You grip at his feet, and he just sort of kicks you free and moves into the building. And as he moves in, a number of others begin to come out. You have but moments to do whatever you're going to do next, because you're going to be overrun very shortly, and you can see that.
Unseen passage.
Okay, so you are going to run to a position where you can get cover.
Yeah.
Definitely not the fire tree, which is still
not
in flames.
Not the burning bush.
Funnily enough, for an icy cold night, it's amazing how this burning bush is burning. So Give me now. Here's where you can shine, but a
See,
stamina
look.
athletics to get a distance so you can hide behind something and make your check.
2.
All right, and then unseen passage with 1 rouse check, please. And I'm going to roll for them.
Yep.
Just to see if the first one can keep up with you.
Okay with the rouse check.
With a 0, no, they cannot. And he failed his hunger dice. Did you get the rouse check? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Ooh, having good luck on those rouse checks tonight. You manage to obscure yourself from vision. And as you do, you hear the all familiar voice. As you look back, seeing 4 new people come out the door, but one, the 5th, a woman in a sparkly bright red dress and heels. You recognize her instantly. One of the males says, "Miss Ashton, he was out here. He mentioned your name." It's the first man who ran away after the burning bush incident. You can see Louisa clear as day. And she says, "Pip, is that you, my dear? You're in the right place. Stand down, everyone. Pip is one of us. Pip, you can definitely join us. You would be welcomed here. You would not be shunned for who you are. Look at me. I'm practically a leader in this place. Join us now. Don't let it be too late."
Can I make a roll of my own to
Yes, you
decide
can.
whether I'm going to go composure awareness to see if I'm together enough to not just go out there like a complete idiot.
Okay.
Oof, 3. I think he wouldn't go out.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question. Are you looking towards the doorway and these Kindred and Louisa?
He would be, but he'd also be trying to make sure that aside from his unseen passage, which he's aware can be seen through, he's got some sort of real cover.
Okay. Can you give me a composure intelligence roll, please?
Ooh.
This is what it says to roll. Two, 3, 4, 5. 5. I've got to roll manipulation dominate. This is new. I haven't done this one before. So 4 and manipulation. So you got 5. She gets not enough. 4. So you feel, as she's saying those words, "Come here with us," you feel a pull. You feel something making you want to sway that way. But it's unfavorable to you. And a little confusing at the moment as your mind fights against it. Whatever she tried to do has failed, and you feel that. You feel that she's tried to use something against you.
He's just gonna stay where he is and see if they all come towards him or whether they split up at all.
With you keeping quiet, she says, "You were so promising, so intelligent. You really should come and join us. Marco was right, you know, to keep you safe. I was treated way worse than I should have been in the Camarilla. They are unkind to our kind. They treat us like slaves. They abuse our abilities. Oh, can you premonition that? Oh, can you look up this? We're just like a dictionary for them. They don't treat me like that here, Pip. We are revered. We share our knowledge. tried to make you see it just now, but you don't. You obviously have grown in strength. I wish you could... And she's sort of waving her hands to the 4 other males behind her and a few more coming out the door, and she sort of waves them down and says, no, he's fine. Go, just stand down. Pip, Jonathan is wonderful. He knows the truth of everything. Just come and have a talk with us. No harm shall come to you. No harm came to your friends. We were honest. Everything Jonathan said, he has done. Yes, Pip, I can see you. So just so you're aware, she has sensed the unseen her.
Yep. Why should I trust you?
That is a good question. Why should you trust any of the people that you're running with now? Where are they now? Are they with you? I don't see them. None of them are here helping. Have they helped you already? Am I wrong? Have they treated you like one of them?
They helped me more than you.
I wasn't in a good place, Pip, I admit that. And right at that point in time, sirens, as the police can be heard moving about a block away, very close. You can see all of them look at each other, and she instantly changes face and says, Pip, it's too late. Things are happening. You are on the wrong side, my friend. And yes, I was wrong, but if you don't come with us now, you are going to be caught. And the SI do not take prisoners very often. And the rest of them are moving into the building.
How far away is Jax right now?
You would be
Considering
probably...
he's exceeding the speed limit.
You would
intensely.
probably, I would say, caught up to the back row of the sort of 6 police cars that are rolling in front of you. I'd say you pulled out of the street trying to take a few shortcuts, and there they are, all the police. You're rolling with the police squad.
I'm going to try and maneuver through them. I want to get there first.
All right, give me another drive. Give me, dexterity drive, man. Zane, anything you want to do at this point as well? So you'll be seeing all of this going on. You see Pip move.
Not much else I can do.
Yeah, that's okay. Just making sure.
5.
I'm going to give a drive for the police because they are moving it as well. Humans are a little less in their dice pool. They roll 3. So yeah, they're good drivers. They're moving quickly. Some of them are cutting across blocks. You maneuver your way between them, skid in and out of them a bit of a slide in the ice, but you get ahead of them. I would say you pull up, as I said, they've just heard the police. You're pulling up now. You can see multiple
Jackson's
of
not
them.
pulling up.
You're not pulling up. You just
as he's driving towards the church, if he sees the group of people in the front of the church, so I'd say, like you said, there's quite a group standing in front of the church.
So they're not out the front on the street side. They're out the side that Pip pulled up. But yes, they're outside of the building.
Yeah. So that's where Jackson will be looking for any signs of Pip. Like he would probably, depending on which way he's coming from, would he be entering from the church's front side, depending on sort of where Elysium is in relation to the church?
So in relation to where Elysium is, I think I might have showed you guys a photo from one street side. That would be the side you'd be coming from. So basically there's built up shrubbery around the side, and you can see like an archway, and then there's the main church front round to like as you park around a corner. So you'd come in from the side, you'd be looking across shrubbery, and you'd be seeing a woman in red with 4 or 5 other people sort of near a door beside her. And there is a tree on fire, a bush
Don't see Pip at all?
You cannot see Pip, no.
That's all I need. That's all Jackson would need. If he doesn't see Pip amongst this group of people, he's going to floor it directly at them with the vehicle.
Okay.
Once he gets within, I don't know, maybe 10 meters, door open, out the door, pulling the steering wheel hard right to get the car to start rolling.
Okay.
And then as he's out, standing up, both pistols drawn, mag dumping into trying to hit the fuel tank with 24 incendiary rounds to cause the vehicle to explode.
Okay, so there's
That's
a lot
the
going
intention.
on here.
That's the intention.
Yep.
Whether it happens, I don't know. Like, there's definitely a lot going on.
There's a lot going on at once. So we'll resolve a little bit at a time here. So, because you've got multiple people seeing a car now just careens across the road, comes straight through. Now, there's a fence and a bunch of shrubbery and trees that you've got to clear through first. So that's the first thing.
No problem.
You're going to have to
It's an SUV, so it's a heavy vehicle.
Yep.
If that does help. I don't know.
It will help, but it's still going to hinder you as far as it's going to.
100%. This is more of a distraction than anything.
Pip, while this is going on, you give me, and it's not going to be very high a task because it's noisy. Give me what's awareness as you hear a vehicle careening towards you. They're going to make a roll of the same. What's awareness because they can hear and see a vehicle. You're going to make a roll, Jax, of your dexterity drive, but you're looking for it's going to be high successes this time because you're going to have to control it in the wet over shrubbery through a fence.
Yeah, so I'm going to I'll rouse some blood as well.
Okay.
Just to see if I can add anything to the roll. Success.
Nice. So rousing the blood will give you an extra dice in the pool.
Cool. Every little bit helps. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be 7, 8. 8 with a messy crit.
8. So you needed 5. So that's not too bad. Messy crit. Okay, so they've rolled. As far as what's awareness, what did you get, Pip?
6 with 1 crit.
Nice. Okay, so you've heard the vehicle coming. You see it move through the shrubbery, through a fence, careening towards you and this group of people. You're quick enough to move out of the way. Most of them are quick enough to move out of the way, including Louisa. However, with Jackson's high roll, you've controlled the car exactly how you want to. You are spinning it to flip it to the side, and you've kicked yourself out the door to do what you want to do. That's exactly with that roll how it goes. Now comes the shooting part. Of course, these are all kindred, and they also have multiple abilities.
That's fine.
So with
your car more about a distraction.
Yep, with your car careening through here, multiple of them have pulled weapons from their jackets and are now shooting at A, your vehicle, and B, anyone they can see, including you, Jax, as you leap from the vehicle. So you've done your thing. Zane, is there anything you want to chime in here before I move forward? Okay. So they're going to make a shot at you, Jax, and you're moving from the vehicle already, so you won't get much of a chance to do anything because you're sort of mid-motion with that high roll.
With rapid reflexes up, I don't take any penalties to uncovered firearms attack. But whether that still plays into it I'm not sure how exactly that works.
So you're uncovered, but for rapid reflexes, you'd basically be cast as covered. Is that what you're saying?
It just says that basically vampires suffer no penalty to their defense pools for lack of cover against firearms attacks.
Oh yes. So, okay. So your defense pools remain normal as opposed to that's fine. Which is, like I say, you don't have any cover, but you'll get the same. Mid motion, probably a little less on these first couple of shots. As far as defense pools, it'll be normal for you. 3, 5, and a crit. So that's 7 total successes on the first one who shoots at you. He's missed the car and he's shooting at you. So they are shooting, this one in particular is shooting rounds that are not flame, but they are very burny to you. You probably recognize them more like the acid rounds that Jenny was using. And you will take from his shots, so your defense roll will be your dexterity athletics. You are mid-air, so normally you would take a penalty, but because of your skill, you do not. So dexterity athletics.
4, 5.
5. Okay, so you take 1 aggravated damage and 1 superficial damage, which would have been higher, but you roll pretty well. I'd say it clips one of your legs and burns through a bit.
Yep.
And then the second one makes his shot, same type of weapon. 1, 2, 3, just 4 and 5 again. No crits on this one though.
That'll be 5 again as well. No crits.
Okay, so just it's 5 versus 5 equals each other out. So I'd say clips you lightly. You only take a superficial
No worries.
on that one being equal, as the rest of them sort of move around the area. Now, Pip, it is your chance to do something here.
So Pip would keep eyes on Louisa as much as he could. So she's not in any... She hasn't taken any damage or anything as far as he can tell.
No, at this point from where you can see her, she's in pretty much like front of the doorway. The car is heading right to her as it's flipping over. It's going to hit her if she doesn't do something. She does not seem to be worried. She doesn't seem to move at all. But you're just watching her.
Yeah, and that's probably what he'll do, because he'll know that if he comes out, he'll be a liability.
Okay. All right, Jackson, you get to shoot your guns.
Just out of curiosity, what happened to Marco? Because he was on the back of my vehicle, yes.
We will resolve that shortly.
I was just wondering, because he's going to be in a world of hurt if he's still on that vehicle. So dexterity firearms.
I'll let you know very momentarily. It's a good way to cliffhanger the game. Yep, dexterity firearms.
This is a big pull for me.
And you said you were shooting at your vehicle's fuel
at the
tank
vehicle's,
or fuel line?
Yeah, just as it's rolling, intention is to hit either the fuel tank or the fuel lines, and with the intention of igniting the vehicle.
Okay.
4, 6, 8. A big dice pull for me.
Yeah, guns are your thing.
1, 2, 3, 9.
9. Holy mother.
10, sorry.
Well, the car's not going anywhere.
Basically, again, it's a mag dump. Both pistols, as fast as I can eject the rounds into the vehicle.
No worries. So I would say it's a little bit of you're aiming, you know where you're aiming to, but the car's flipping.
Yeah.
With your really good reflexes and the skill of watching, you're mag dumping because you know you're going to get there eventually, and you get sort of the side of the car, the windows blast out, fire. Now there's a lot of fire here.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing that happens is you're ripping the car apart. The second thing that happens is that everyone, including yourself, is going to have to make a willpower save from fire, because there's a lot of it. As the car ignites, it does not explode like the American movies would have you believe. But the fuel line ignites and catches fire, and you can see as the car rolls over. Pip, you lose sight
2 successes
as the car rolls of Louisa. You know her abilities. As you lose sight of her after the next flip, she doesn't seem to be in view at all anymore. How many successes, Jax?
2.
Everyone's going to need 3 for this, so I'm rolling willpowers. Pip, you're going to need to roll willpowers for this as well. It's a lot of close by fire here. Oh, fail. This is all the guards first, then Louisa. Fail. Shit. Hey, 1 succeeds. And only 1. And now Louisa. Her willpower's 5, though. 1, 2, 3. So she succeeds. All the guards bar 1 fail. Pip, what did you get?
Pip fails 2.
So the both of you, with failing your willpower roll there, instantly, Jax, as that fire goes up, it's a wave of heat. And it's a wave of heat against you too, Pip. You see the other kindred all just drop. Louisa seems to have disappeared from view. And one of the other kindred hugs up against the wall and moves behind a couple of other shrubs on the opposite side, out of the way.
So you said these trees, like, on that front section?
Yeah, there's shrubbery and trees around here.
With Jackson, with the fire, he'd be up and moving towards the trees to get something between him and the fire.
Cool, so that's exactly what I was going to ask.
Just in the general direction, yeah. Obviously not knowing where Pip is, he's just going to head for the trees to get cover.
So we're basically treating fire. It's a bane. It's a vampire bane. You definitely want to move away from fire.
Oh, definitely.
Until you are able to make a decent willpower save, you won't be able to move towards it. Usually, once you fail a willpower, it's for the scene.
Yep.
So you'll be moving out of that direction for now.
Yeah. Jackson's got no intention of moving towards that. Knowing what the building is too, like he knows what's there.
You too, Pip. Which way are you moving?
Is the car that Pip took away from the fire?
Correct. Yes, it's I see like half a block back from the street, so you'd be the way that
Yeah.
Jax came in, and the way that the cops are all pulling up now against the side of the street.
Yep, so Pip will head to the car.
Okay, heading towards the police.
Yeah.
Okay, just so you realise. Now, what happens here is I've just rolled some more dice for you. The car rolls on fire. It absolutely wipes out one of the, because quite a few of those kindred who had failed their rolls went to move out of the way. They sort of hunkered down on the ground as the car came over. It just bounces and cuts one directly in half, on fire. You hear the curling screams, and then they just muffled as it rolls over and squashes two more. Two of them survive, and that's two that were feared from their bane. Two of them survive as they're sort of crying out like, get back into the building. And then one that didn't fail the willpower save seems to have moved back into the building as the car slams up against the doorway of the building, erupting into flames. No sign of Louisa still. As the police are now exiting their vehicles, weapons drawn. Anyone who is holding a weapon, that includes Jackson, weapons are drawn out. The police are like, stand down. You can see riot gear and shields on some of them. A further car at the back, a couple of extra black-suited individuals get out, and they have bigger weapons, much, much larger, or I would say semi-automatic style weapons, and they're just ordering everyone to get down. Where's the shooter? Everyone down now. Hands behind your back. On your face. On your face.
So at this point, Jackson would have reloaded, heading towards the trees.
Give me a, because it's all quick succession here. So
Yep.
give me that dexterity firearms, and you're reloading two weapons here.
Yep.
So you're really gonna need high drive for this. You're gonna need at least 6.
Shouldn't be a problem, hopefully, unless I roll really, really badly.
You're under pressure with your fear and P as well. So
Yep.
I'm going to say you've got your rapid reflexes up. No, but you're not defending. I'm going to say you're less to die in your
Less to
pull
die,
because
no
of
worries.
the willpower. Eh?
Easy as.
There's a lot going on.
Messy critical on, and that'll be exactly 6.
Okay, so the surge of vitae within you, and you can see there's weapons around. There's probably 15 police officers and a couple of these suited people as well now. But you get those guns loaded as quick as you can, probably quicker than you've ever done it before. Rounds all incendiary still.
Yep.
Now, if I remember rightly, and we can check the VOD, but I think you said you bought spare 2 sets. So this will be your last set of mags?
I think, yeah, I always carry at least 2 on me, so yeah, it'd be.
And you unloaded
nice.
into
I
Marco.
unloaded one into Marco, so I'll have one left spare after this reload. Just 1, not 2.
Sweet. So with that, Pip, the police are holding the guns up. Men with automatic rifles behind them, shields, and they're ordering both of you face down. Hands are behind your back.
Is there any cover close to where Pip is?
There's plenty of shrubbery and trees around, yes.
Pip's going to try and dive for it
you're
so he
still
can...
obfuscated, aren't you?
Well, I don't know, because I did yell out to Louisa.
Oh, you did, correct. Yep, so yeah.
So,
Cool.
he'll be trying to do that again. Like get to a position where they can't see him for a hot second and then activate that ability if he can.
Alrighty. Just give me that rouse check, because you can definitely get behind cover as the cops are calling to you. As you move, because you're not following their instruction, you are going to get shot at.
Yep, so I've succeeded the rouse check, thankfully.
Okay, and then give me a, you're trying to get behind cover quickly to do it, so give me a dexterity athletics, please.
Question, storyteller. Does
Yes.
Jackson see Pip move in this moment?
I would say you'd be able to see his position, so yes, you probably do.
Okay.
2.
2. So I got
Yep.
4 successes. So you are winged by a regular bullet, which will give you 1 superficial damage, Pip.
How many superficial make her aggravated?
So if you fill your health track with superficial, then you start making aggravateds on them, basically. So
Yep.
2 superficial making aggravated.
No worries.
Right. And with that, where are we? Okay. So, Zane, you're looking upon this through your cameras. The police have pulled up. This car has flipped and exploded, not exploded, but burst into flames against this doorway. Probably at some stage may explode because there's a lot of fuel in a vehicle like this. The police are moving forward, guns out. You can see Pip move away. He moves out of sight, but you've lost sight of him. You've lost sight of Louisa. You can see some kids who get squashed by said car. Jackson is, I believe, how would you be on the ground, Jackson? Because you've reloaded. You're up on your knees, standing.
I probably would have gone back to standing.
Okay, move to a standing position.
I'm not in an aggressive stance, so if any of the police can actually see me, I'm not guns pointed. I still have them, but they're down, probably at my side, so they'd be less likely to probably know whether I have a weapon or not at this point.
And they've called for you to lay down with your hands behind your back, but you're not doing that?
Not at this point. I'm just sort of waiting to see if they reissue that order, because I don't know that they'll be able to see my weapons at this point. Okay, so, I'm not sure.
So you see Jackson in the camera, Zane, as he sort of reloads as fast as lightning. You barely see his hands move. And then, as you say, Jax, the police they're continuously calling, down on your face, hands in front, up above your head where we can see them. Lie on the ground, sir.
So, context, I had Daunt up before I left Elysium, so they'll still be active.
Yes, you did. Yes, correct.
With rapid reflexes. So with Daunt up, most mortals will avoid contact with me at all costs.
The problem you have is once you failed your willpower because of the fire, everything like that drops away.
That dropped? Okay, cool.
Scene ends, as far as because you went from one scene to another, but you could have still had it up. However, with the willpower fail, anything that was active would generally be lost because you'll have to reactivate it because you're concentrating on getting away from your bane.
In that case, then, in this moment, I will reactivate Daunt, which means rapid reflexes will be down as well, if that's the case.
Yes, it would be too. So I didn't even think about that.
So I'll reactivate Daunt. I will drop my pistols. I will raise my hands, but I'll start walking towards the police.
Yep.
Out the side of my eye, trying to see where Pip went, knowing he was definitely heading in that direction. Obviously, he's vanished. I don't know where he is, but I'm just sort of trying to make sure that Pip can get away. Okay,
sweet. So as you walk forward with Daunt up, the front ones that can actually see you, because even though it's a dark night, there's fire and you're illuminated, they sort of they hesitate just slightly, and normally at this point they're starting to be shooting because you're walking in them, but because Daunt is up, I'm going to make a roll.
Yeah, and my hands are up too, like I've dropped my weapons.
Yeah, your hands are up. Okay, so you need to make a roll of intimidation. So your intimidation and your choice of manipulation and composure
are both the same.
And your presence, you can add your presence die to that.
It's not massive, but
resolve composure.
4.
Okay, so they can only attack you or pass this by rolling difficulty of resolve composure at 2.
Difficulty 2, yeah.
4 on top of it, and your Daunt. We're going to see how they go. They don't need a blood dice. Which neither of them make it, which is bullshit. So I can't imagine cops in any country just giving up when someone's... But you have dropped your guns, your hands are up.
Yeah.
They sort of... The voices are the same, but they make no more motion forward. They stand there with their guns aimed at you and they say, "Sir, the instruction has been given. Please get down on your hands, at least face down or something, because we don't want to have to shoot you, but we will."
So the intention here, just for context, is to
Yeah,
get to a position where I can then utilize blink and virtually disappear. I can move 50 meters in a straight line. So I'm looking to get myself into a position where I can move 50 meters to an area of cover and then leg it.
Okay. Easy enough done, because everywhere around you is bushes and shrubbery and trees. So if your blink is like 50 meters, you're going to get to one in about 12 meters. There's a tree.
Okay. Well, like, I'll probably try and utilize the full 50 meters, because then it puts a lot of distance between me and them in an instant. So it'll also make it harder for them to determine exactly where I've gone.
All right. I'm going to roll again because there's another set of officers as you're walking forward.
Which will cost me a rouse check to do it.
A rouse check to do your blink.
Yeah.
So as they come forward, more officers are coming forward now. So as the next two come forward, I'm rolling there.
And that's a failure. I get hungrier.
Okay, you feel... Oh, you're not too bad. You're at 3. So you feel the beast rise within you as these other police come forward. For good reason, too, because two of the officers that come up behind, one of them is affected by your daunt, but the third doesn't seem to be. And he takes a single shot at your lower right shin. You can make the dexterity roll. Dexterity athletics. He does 5 for his shot.
And as I'm blinking, am I able to add celerity to that or no? As it is a celerity effect.
Yes, you said you were planning to use it. You're getting in the head. I'll say yes.
Oh crap! Lord dice. 7, 8.
8. So
no criticals.
He's aiming for that. The right lower right leg. He gets the ground just in front of your right foot instead. I said, "Stop, sir, please."
And gone.
And you're gone. Right, Zane.
And the moment I blink, I'm just running. I'm just heading for the nearest whatever, over fences, through people's yards, just to get gone.
Pip, I will say, with his distraction, you've had enough time to move from that place, even though you were moving sort of towards the cops, towards that car, because you are in obfuscated mode. He's given you enough time that they were all focused on him, that you've been able to move around them to get to the car, give or take, if that's what you were doing.
Pip probably wouldn't go in the car because he would have seen Jackson. He'll just sort of hang back as far as he can, sort of more on the police side of things, because he'll know that if anyone wants to get to him, they'll have to go through the police, and that the police can't see him. So, well, assumes they can't see him.
Zane, lastly, just before we end tonight, on the camera, as you watch these cars roll in, as Jackson was coming in, you could probably back through the cam and see this if you wanted to, but you would have seen it as it happened. As Jackson's bringing his vehicle in, he passes through a couple of police cars. The snake on the back of the boot of the car morphs to more of a wolf-like form and bounds from one car to another. Hops on the back door of a car, and that car then pulls over to the side of the road. You move cameras for a few streets and you can see the front of the car now. It's hard to tell what's going on. There's a tussle inside the car. It's not clear at all. But then the car's lights come back on and away it goes again, following the rest of the police. When that car pulls up, as Jackson's doing his wondrous car flipping move, the police vehicle, one of the officers steps out of the car. Another officer just stays sitting in the car. The officer gets out, moves behind another car where there's a further set of officers getting out, talks to one officer, talks to another officer. They get back in the cars and they drive away. He moves forward, talking to officer after officer until the black cars arrive. As the black cars are pulling in, as Jackson's sort of doing his shooting, this is all happening very quick. This character, who you can only assume is Marco in police disguise, begins to move away as one of the people in the black uniform holds forth something shiny and bright, a small silver cross maybe. And as he does that, you see Marco, police uniform, move away from the main crowd, and he's looking around for something. Maybe for Pip, maybe for Jackson. But he moves away from the fray as Jackson blinks and does a speed off out of view of your camera. You're not sure where he's gone. But the direction he was moving, Jackson, Zane, that is where Marco tends to head. Just casually. You spot it. It'd be hard for any average Joe to spot on the camera, however. But you do see everything else in the camera. Jackson's reload at blistering speed. Jackson, you dropped your weapons on the ground and then blinked, didn't you? So he's dropped his weapons on the ground. He's blinked out of the way. In camera, you just see his body just disappear. And with that, we'll call it the end of tonight's session. Next week, we'll be starting a new night, just so you're aware. Well done, everybody. That was really, really tense.
It was like, whoa, lots of story, lots of shit going on. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, chat, for hanging out with us tonight, obviously, and for using your channel points too, guys. So don't forget, you got the channel points there if you've got them for Black Dice and Willpower rolls. Definitely, they do come in handy in these tense situations. Poor Pip, some seriously low rolls there, dude. It's like, oh my god. But hey, it all worked out in the end, hopefully. We don't know yet. We'll find out next week. But we'll do our usual, turn it back over to the storyteller, and we'll go around and get some moments from tonight. Chat, if you got some moments, chuck them in the chat. We'll read them out. Anything that stood out to you from storyteller or players, anything in the story that you thought was really, really cool as well, to sing out, and we'll read it out before we finish up.
Awesome. Yeah, really enjoyed tonight's game. Jax, we'll start with you tonight, mate.
No problem. So, again, I Pip, man, just the things that Pip does. First off, obviously the reaction to what he heard in the office. I wasn't entirely sure what he was up to, and I was like, oh my god, what's he doing? And just getting out of Elysium and obviously making his way. He's obviously got intentions. He's trying to figure things out the way that he needs to, I guess. But just the intent and the intensity of Pip in that moment, I think, was awesome. Especially when he made the phone call to the driver, whoever had Sam. Just the intenseness, the drive that he had, and I'd say anger and a little bit definitely came through there as well.
Yeah, it definitely shined through. I agree. Zane.
Yeah, I'll go with what Pip did. I enjoyed that. Also enjoyed the confrontation between Jax and Marco. That was fun. And sorry, and the story for the storyteller, how he unfolded that was awesome.
Which part of the story stood out the most there for you, Zane?
Okay, it'd have to be the what I got you to do.
Yeah.
With the cops rocking up and all that.
Yeah, that was absolutely awesome. Agreed. Good fun. And Pip, last but not least.
Yeah, so that phone thing was genius, because I was like, I don't know what to do. He's not going to listen to what I have to say, so this guy's obviously going to do what he's going to do, and then Zane comes in and explodes the phone. So, but it was just so intense. I didn't really, I was sort of lost in it all, but I did write one thing down where Jack said, you've messed up Zane. He's a fucking mess. But I'm just like, that's just so perfect. But yeah, like Zane, he's always been off the wall and maybe always in a bad place. But man, right now, like maybe not as bad as me and Jax are in right now, but
he's definitely been messed up emotionally.
Yeah.
So.
Emotionally distraught.
Yeah, says, I love the emotional shifts Pip has, the Clarfit bomb and Zane's masquerade blunder and story unfolding. I think we've all probably just about breached the masquerade tonight, though. I mean, the police, being in direct view of the police, I mean, Jackson's just literally used a kindred ability in front of humans, which is a massive masquerade breach.
Yeah, she's crazy in front of the masquerade there. For me, I had a couple of things, one for each of you, which I try to normally do. Pip just going out and saying, "Hey, Marco, I need a ride." And then when the car arrives, is that door open? I
That
just
was
thought,
cool.
oh no, I actually expected a car crash. But just driving to the church and that seeing the side of Pip we saw a little bit of last week where he's a bit angry, and now we saw him like, right now I'm real angry and I'm good to go. Zane, yeah, the phone explosion was a great idea. I thought, that was a really cool way to do it. I guess too, seeing the phone bomb from the Sabat earlier on in the series, making it happen through the technology as opposed to actually rigging a bomb like he had done, which I thought was a cool way to do it, overheating the battery, which we all know can happen.
Oh,
So I
yes.
thought that was choice. And then Jax, that car flip stunt, I was like, holy shit, man, this is going to go crazy. And that was such a good idea.
Yeah, well, like I said, I knew we weren't obviously going to do the Hollywood thing where it would explode and kill everybody kind of thing. I mean, the whole idea is incendiary rounds fuel. At least one of those bullets has to hit the fuel tank and ignite the fuel. So, like, basically a rolling giant flaming vehicle would be enough to cause at least somewhat of a distraction so that Pip could get away. That was Jackson's whole deal, was just that you give Pip enough chance to get away or at least hide, knowing that he has that ability. There was no way in hell Jackson was going to that church. He knows that that's a Sabat stronghold. It's not going to end well for anyone going in there.
Yeah, well, they're having trouble getting out that door now, so.
I mean, the church might be burning for a little bit. They might have to deal with that.
But no, very good game, everybody. Thank you.
Yes, agreed. Thank you so much, players, Trash and Mr. Grimm, for joining us for another Sunday night for Vampire Masquerade. As you heard from the story about Othello, we'll be back next week with the next episode. Not entirely sure what's going to happen next. As I said, we are definitely getting to the end of the story. We could be ending next week or the week after. It just really depends on what happens next.
I have a question for the storyteller. I'm taking the black cars that rocked up. They were SI?
You don't know.
You can assume so.
With one with a cross in their hand aimed at Marco, I dare say you probably got the right idea.
Well, I led them in the right direction.
It is what it is. But we are going to raid, guys. Thank you again so much for hanging out with us. Thank you, Storyteller, for an amazing story, and the continuance of that story we'll see next week, next Sunday, back here on this channel. Tomorrow night, we're back. We're doing some more maps. We're doing a mixture, doing sort of swapping in between Ice Spire and Dragon Heist maps. So definitely come hang out with me tomorrow night doing that. Wednesday night, we're back with Lost Mines, where our crew has just cleared out a goblin cave and have just arrived at Phandalin. So come and join us for that on Wednesday for more D&D stuff over there. And of course, as always, thank you so much for spending your time here with me and us in general. And we're going to go raid. We're going to raid Aussie Devfro tonight.
And I'll catch everybody later.
No, it's best. Catch up, man.
See you guys.
We're going to raid Aussie Devfro. We normally raid Josie. We're going to raid Aussie tonight, who's playing the same game. He's a player in Josie Pose's Dramonia homebrew stuff, and good bunch of role players over there. Bunch of Aussies as well. But go over and hang out with them. Let them know where you come from, and we will see you guys tomorrow doing some map stuff. Bye-bye.